Hey, Kevin and Elle back with you on SportsCenter, the masked man. We love it. Jaylen Brown has just been fantastic, especially over the last 9 games or so. 25 points or more in 7 of those as the Cavs and Celtics are on their way 48 minutes from now right here on ESPN. We also mentioned Jason Tatum scoring a little earlier. I mean, all told, the Celtics offense has just been ridiculous, scoring 125 points 22 times this season. That's tied for the 5th most such games in a single season in franchise history. The 4 teams with more, by the way, all went on to win the NBA title. Let's get it to countdown with Courtside.
All right, Elle, thank you very much. And the fans are streaming in after this day of all access for the Celtics. We are now finally ticking it away towards tip-off. The Celtics and the Cavaliers in a good one tonight. Boston coming off that tough night in New York against the Knicks, so they'll be looking to bounce back with Stephen A. Smith. The big fella, Big Perk, is here. Jalen Rose. I am Mike Greenberg. And so the last time we were in this building together, gentlemen, the Celtics, it was Game 6 of the NBA Finals. They were 2 wins away from adding another banner a year ago. Stephen A., what is their biggest hurdle towards adding it this year?
Well, I think the obvious answer to that would be the Milwaukee Bucks because of the way Milwaukee is looking right now with Giannis back healthy. You know, winners of 15 straight, the way that they've been playing ball, the depth, the athleticism, the defensive tenacity, the elevation in that regard. I think you got to take that into consideration. But I'm also watching a Boston Celtics team where I'm looking at Jason Tatum, the star that he is, a lot of one-on-one going on there. If you remember earlier last year, before they really got it together, some of those similar things were what people were complaining about. You got to be mindful of that because that's not going to beat Milwaukee.
What are you seeing, Jalen, from these Celtics?
I agree with Stephen A. It's the Bucks, but in particular, Giannis, because he's going to be the best player in any series that he's involved in. Number 2, home court advantage. Remember last year when Grant Williams hit 7 3-pointers against the Bucks? That was on this floor. Right. I don't think he does that on the road. He didn't make 7 threes the entire NBA Finals combined. And last but not least, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown as the go-to guys. And Perk, you know what I'm about to say. They got to keep their turnovers down.
Absolutely.
They're the highest scoring duo, but Jason Tatum in particular last year had over 100 turnovers in the playoffs. No player has ever done that in the history of the league.
When you look at the Celtics, right, the deepest team in the league, they have shooting. They have the superstar for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They have interior defense. And Robert Williams and Al Horford and even Grant Williams at a point. And when you have a guy like Derek White, again, that wins Eastern Conference Player of the Week, as a guy that's your 4th or 5th option, that means you have everything and more. So my concern is what is Joe Mazzulla going to do with this? Okay, we talked about whether or not they should have gave him that title so soon or should he earned it for us in the postseason. Well, he's going to have to match up against an Eric Spoelstra, a Doc Rivers, and a Bud. He got to be able to show us he's able to make in-series adjustments and in-game adjustments.
So there are some questions about these Celtics who woke up this morning for the first time since before Christmas not in first place in the Eastern Conference. Practically all season long between the Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks, who won their 15th straight game last night and now have the best record in the NBA, snapping the Celtics streak of being in first. That dated back before Christmas. Through the season, these teams have been the leaders, not just in the East, but the entire league. Boston's had a share of the best record for 106 days this year, Milwaukee for 32. And so if indeed these two teams have separated themselves from the pack, the question, Stephen A., is a simple one. Who's the best team in the NBA right now?
It's the Boston Celtics. Until further notice, I need to see Chris Middleton return to being the Chris Middleton that we know and love before I'm willing to elevate Milwaukee ahead of the Boston Celtics. I know Giannis is there. I know Brook Lopez is there. I know I've seen some good things from Grayson Allen and various others. Drew Holiday, let's not forget him. He's a star. But I'm sorry. I think Jaylen Brown's on this team. I think Jason Tatum's on this team. I think Malcolm Brogdon's coming off the bench. I think the Eastern Conference Player of the Month is here in Derek White. Al Horford's still hitting open jump shots. I'm rolling with the Celtics until further notice.
And I agree with Stephen A. Until I see Chris Middleton back in the starting lineup, that's when I'll really reevaluate this question. But in particular, I want to talk about the Celtics backcourt. I think they have the best foursome in the entire league. Jaylen Brown averages 26 points. Marcus Smart, reigning Defensive Player of the Year. As you mentioned, Derek White is one Player of the Week. And how about Malcolm Brogdon? Leads the NBA in three-point field goal percentage. That foursome is amazing. I love Drew Holiday clearly, again, for the Bucks, but that foursome has been a difference.
Let me tell you why I disagree with both of them, right? When you look at Giannis, we're talking about the best, most dominant player in the world. And when it comes down to trusting one individual in the league to get the mission done, I'm trusting Giannis. But when I look at the others, right, I'm looking at Brook Lopez right now, and I'm looking at Bobby Portis, who's averaging 14 and 10 off the bench. When you look at that size and depth that they have in that front court, I'm a little bit worried when it comes down to Robert Williams with his injury problems right now, because I haven't seen him play consistently. We know Al Horford is there, but he's getting up in age, and we don't really know what you're going to get out of Blake Griffin. So when it comes from a front court alone, that's why I have concerns, and that's why I give Milwaukee the nod.
I'm not concerned. I saw Giannis on the court last year when Jason Tatum dropped 46 in Game 6, and I saw him on the court in Game 7 go home. I'm sorry. Jason Tatum is still here.
Chris Middleton, of course, did not play in that series at all, and it still went 7 tough games. They clearly have separated themselves as the 2 best in the East. It figures they will go right down to the wire. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.